la la ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la ya la la ya 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 la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la ah ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ah ya la ya la 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 They wrote people to go. Right, so. No. And then, by the way, who we running for? The politicians, Josh Schumer, the guy who basically put us in the lap. That's situation. Hard to know. That's what I thought. That's why the fact when I saw it, like in Charlotte, someone that knows the business in Charlotte told me that in Charlotte, just send me to what the show was. That's all. Nothing else. I have a friend that just texted me. He was there all day, and he got 200 film.
Well,
200 film here.
only for that is okay to make.
Yeah, he sent me a picture. Look, the film.
You see?
Here.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Wow.
He's a lawyer. He does all the legal things for us. I asked him how many films did you get? Look, he writes back. 200.
That's incredible.
That's why I said all the Lubavitchers go there. People go to Breslov, the Uman Torkashona. The guy asks him, "What do you need? Why Chabad is going in Breslov? Who are you going to put on the phone now?" And it's not a joke. It's serious. The guy told me, he's like, they get
a lot of film.
Yeah.
Yesterday, family of the Hashivik went to the oil, right? And today they went to the running.
It was a chartered plane.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The guy came from Erzsov, and they came together with the Shliach.
With Rabbi Aronov, right?
I don't know who. No.
I don't know.
No, I don't know who. Someone. I saw a video of a pilot letting them talk and.
Was it chartered?
Who prefer Chabad?
Yeah.
Listen, the point was that they go to the library. What's that in the Chanuk? Make some Ra'ash Ba'olam. But the Rabbein, the Tzemach Tzedek, the Fidik, they all went to the big cities to talk to the government to change laws, to make changes, right? But they never rallied. They never. There's something rally, no?
Tell you what, 1993, they asked the Rebbe, that's when they signed the Oslo Accord. They asked the Rebbe if they should go protest. And the Rebbe said, yeah, and he gave a bracha. I went. It's the first time in my life I went to Washington. We went on the bus, Pinja Korf. Pinja Korf put on his gartel.
Wow. Like it's like
He's going for the Rebbe, right?
They're not
Going for the Rebbe.
Not
Put on the gartel. We had a couple of Kahana Chayav there. They make no trouble. They got arrested. And Lubavitch is just standing there at Galen Rambam, that I prokem Rambam, holding signs. We want Mashiach now. And the Megishtanen with the Gartel, like a mile and a half from the White House. The Megishtanen. I remember at that time. The only people that were protesting, and I was there. I was in Yeshiva Boker, I was in Sanzani, and there was a couple walked over to me, and that couple said, "Why are you protesting?" So the Lubavitch Rebbe said that this is a disaster. Come on, this agreement is going to endanger millions of Jews. I said, "Why? How could this is the best thing that ever happened. The best thing that ever happened." I'm telling you, a mamish like this, an elderly Jewish American couple, not a lahachisnik, not a progressive. They were so happy. Wow, we made an agreement. It's going to be so good. I told them, no, the Rebbe says this is going to be a disaster. This is going to be Rahman al-Islam. They couldn't believe it. They said this is the best thing that's ever happened. And now, that's the difference. The Rebbe saw back then whatever we see clearly now. So they shall help from L'chaim. Is a special day. Open up Fetch Shagula. Huh?
He was doing the same job, but he went a little more.
Madavis and whatever. There's not Lois Muav's man Vamokim. The Rebbe did not, as you know, that the Rebbe was not a staunch right winger. As we know, when it came to the Russia issue, the Rebbe was very against his tactics. The Rebbe had unbelievable Agnas Nefesh. The Rebbe had a very progressive view about what to deal. The Rebbe was very against protesting when it came to Russian Jewry. And the Rebbe was totally not,
It was not helpful.
And I remember in the Bronx, and I was good friends with this guy who was, worked for Daniel Pack-Tremonahan. And he said, Lubavitch Rebbe, he was the most progressive leader. He was the most progressive Jewish leader. He was against antagonizing the Russians, make nice with them. And he couldn't understand what's the Geshem with that. It's Yisrael. All of a sudden,
two different types of people. So you deal with a different business. You can't. Russian is Russian, American is American.
And the Hamas is the Hamas.
Exactly. This is like unbelievable. Wow.
These people couldn't believe it. They knew the Rebbe from the 60s and the 70s. The Rebbe was the most progressive Jewish leader in their mind. He was against demonstrations, Shep dialogue, Shep talk. But it was a different story. The Russians, again, the 1 million Yidden were stuck under their thumb. What are you supposed to do? Don't make demonstrations. Don't scream rah ha ha. Don't get the Russians angry. The Arabs is a very different story, the Rebbe said. We have an army and we have to protect the Yidden. It was very interesting.
I'm taking myself back. I didn't know that the Rebbe was very. To me, it was more like I said to myself, who is the person who's going to lead that back there? That's what I was afraid of.
This guy in the Bronx, he was a politician for a lot of years. He told me, the Rebbe was so progressive. All of a sudden, the Rebbe turned around. But the Rebbe held that when it comes to Yidden in Russia, they're stuck under the, you don't, Madav Zachoysid.
These people are.
I know there are people that think that Mr. Putin is a größer tzaddik, almost like Beinani and Tanya. But,
yes, and the eyes of the world, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
But we need to keep it that way. That's how we have a relationship with them.
Exactly.
The only way you can have a relationship with them. Like
it's unbelievable to see now that the Rebbe saw back then, and everyone sees it now. You know what? We're starting the Chodesh. The Rebbe had an unbelievable koch in Igeres HaTshuva.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of times when Jews were in a difficult situation. Starting on the top page, Tzadik Vav. in the first line with there's a little Achla Acha Sheyordim. Achla Acha Sheyordim. Here. Pass around.
Yeah.
So the Rebbe had an unbelievable cooking against that true. Like it's unreal. Here, bench you have?
Myself,
Huh?
18 years.
Rabbi.
Yeah. Oh, Mazel
Don't-
Tov.
Parents need one.
Parents you got?
No.
Yeah, give the parents. Oh. L'chaim, 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 l'orech yamim v'shonim toivim.
Oh, yeah.
What's the l'chaim for?
I say 18 years ago, I got engaged today.
So someone will tell you about how you can continue to 50 and then to another 50.
You want to give you a hint?
Make l'chaim, make l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim. Okay, let's read. Sok the Tanya. Now, Rebbe asked a question in a previous Pedic. How can we see that there's bad people and they're alive? The Torah said that there are certain wicked people that they die at the age of 50, and others, the Chodesh, die at the age of 60. And we see some of these really wicked people, and they hit 50 and they're alive, and 60 and they're alive, and 70 they're alive, and 80 they're alive. What's going on over here? The Torah says that for certain sins, a person is a Rosh and he dies at the age of 50, and others he's a Rosh and he dies at the age of 60.
Tzaddik v'ra'lo. Rasha
This is Russia V'tovla. Exactly. What's going on over here?
A prime example is former President Jimmy Carter.
Exactly. Still jumping on peanuts. Still making. I mean, the guy is like a sucking mamre. Like the guy is so old, and he's still saying Rahman al-Islam, terrible things.
Terrible.
Okay, so the Alter Rebbe explains like this. We're on page Tzadik Vav, top line. Alter Rebbe says that this was when the Yidden war in the times of the Beis Hamikdash. So all the chayes of a Yid was only from Kedusha. So if Chas v'Shalom a Yid there's like a rope, a person's hanging as a cliffhanger. He's hanging from the top of the thing. So, and he's hanging from there. If the guy will cut the rope, he's going to go flying. What's going to happen when he gets to the bottom? Bang. And that's it. His body is going to splatter and he's going to die. Now, when he's flying from here to here, he's still alive. But he's dead man flying. He's dead man walking. He's alive. When he's flying, he didn't hit you at the bottom, so his body didn't like splat. But he's gonna die. As soon as he hits the bottom, he's gonna die.
Even JFK Jr.
So what happens when a Yid in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, if he disconnects, Chodesh means nichras, cuts off the rope, he can't live past 50 or 60. But what happens after the Churban? After the Yidden have this dinyan of Golus, that the hay from Yudke Vovke went down into Golus. So everything in this world has an angel, a mazel that gives it chayis. In the times of the Beis Hamikdash, it's nikir that's coming from Yudke Vavke. But over here, when the hay is bepishim shulche imchem, it goes into Golus. So it's an unbelievable, it's a terrible situation. Vazay yochel gam achoyte poshe Yisrael kabel chayis l'gufam v'nafshem abahamis v'mishor balechayim mamish. Then a sinner of a Jew who sins could live like a cow. V'mashikosav nimshal kabehemas nidmu. V'adarabba v'yesa says v'yesa oiz apim ha'mavur b'zoyr HaKodesh Pashas Pekudesh. Kol shefa v'chayis anishpol odom tachten b'shor v'regesh oiz rab ein Hashem v'maisa v'dibra b'hiru raveda hakol nishpol loi me'cholas ha'sitra achram avorim sham b'zoyr HaKodesh v'odom b'al v'chine Mlekabel Ashposa mecholas ha'sitra achram mecholas ha'kedusha shem nishpos kol machshavas toivus ha'kedushes ki zelo mazal selikim cholas ha'sitra achram mekablam v'yoinkim chiyusam mislapshus v'shtalshlos ha'shpod yutzviri denoige kula p'chenes toiverai p'chenes eitzadatz kedu lo l'chein The person has a choice where to plug in the plug. He can plug it in here, he can plug it in there. So if he decides to plug in to the klipa, so the chayas that's coming to him from Yudke Vavke is going through the klipa. Now the klipa is unbelievably enriched. Now the energy is flowing through the klipa. The klipa gets unbelievable hashpah. In the days of the Beis Hamikdash, it wasn't possible, impossible, that a Jew's life should come through klipa. It couldn't happen. Either he gets it from kedusha. If he's cut, that's it. He's not going to live. He's going to hit the bottom, and he's not going to live. But Bisman Hazet Shayach, that his life is coming through Klippa, and Klippa is loving it because they're getting unbelievable hashpah. V'hine Yaakov Chevel Nachlosik Siv Al Derek Kamosh Al Kamoy Achevel Shalosh Echad Lamayla Berosh Hasheni Lamat V'mim Shechodem Berosh Hasheni Yenaneh V'mosh Acher V'gam Berosh Rishon Kama Shev Shaloi Leimoch Shech. If you have a rope and you're holding strong down the rope, you could pull down the rope. So the same thing, the Yid is holding on to Yud Vavke the Eibishter, and if he goes down into the Klippas, the Yud Vavke goes down with him to the Klippas. So he gets his energy from Yud Vavke through the Klippa. The Kochamamish B'Shelish Nishmas Odem Mekoyim B'Chinas Heita Toa Anal Wa'Mamshich Moiridash B'Oseh Nemaisa V'Royim Achshavoyis Toich Eicholois Hasitra Acher Kivyochel. He's bringing in the energy of Yudke Vavke, mainly the hay, to the Sitra Achre, Shemishamish Kabel Machshavoysa V'Maisa, Mneshu Hu Amamshech Lamashbo, L'chein Hu Noitel Chelik Beroish V'Dal. Just like in business. They say, you know what, I'm going to give you good customers, but you got to give me a kickback. You give me a kickback, then I'll give you good customers. The clip is the same thing. They say to a Jew, you know what, listen, the only way we're going to get chayes from Kedusha is if you do sins. So if you do sins, we're going to get a lot of ashpah, and don't worry, we'll give you a good kickback. We'll give you a gezetzah kickback and give them chelik berosh. And that's why we see that there's a lot of Yidden that Achmon Latzlan are Rishayim, and they're living past 50 or 60, and also we see Yidden that are Rishayim, and they got a $500 million sitting in their bank account. What's going on over here? Because they're doing so much avedis. The Klippa is giving them a fraction. Do you think the $1 billion is something? They're Avedis, they're giving $1 trillion to Klippa. But Klippa gave them $1 billion. This is what I said, you said, that we don't have the Shalva Sarishayim b'yadenu davke. Kloima b'zman ha'golos acher ha'churban. V'zeu b'chinas golos ha'shchina kivyochel ha'shpil le'chol ha'sitracha shesona navshek. Chodesh moise tshuva nachayna. As I'm a salak b'mashpoah, shim shem b'mayis ha'mashavoysa. Tshuva machzer ha'shpoah ha'shchina l'mekayim. V'zeu toshuv hey. That's a word. Tshuva means toshuv hey. Hey tato mepchinas golos. We return the hay that was dragged into golos, into the klipa. V'shkotza v'sham Hashem alokecha shvuscha. Klama im shvuscha. With the Yid, the Eibishter also goes out of golos. The Yid pulled the Eibishter into golos, and when he goes back, the Eibishter goes back. Together with the Yid. The Rebbe, as I said, unbelievable kochne geras tshuva. Or in many years, when there was Eden were in danger, and there were dangerous things. One of the things that Rebbe says to learn geras tshuva. Why? Because the Torah says that Torah shebeksav, that when Yisrael listen tshuva miyadem negolem, like the Frierdiker Rebbe slogan, la'alta l'tshuva, la'alta l'tshuva. So just the fact that he learns to geras tshuva is already awakens the heart to tshuva, and that brings the geula. So I want to share a hezber from the Rebbe, a hezber nifla. I mean, all the hezberim from the Rebbe nifloim, a hezber nifla on this thing. It's poshet, it's a shaint. The Alter Rebbe says, based on what he says, v'zeu 3 lines from the top. V'zeu she'amar Hazal. This is what our sage just said. Ein b'yadeinu loy mishalva serishayim. B'yadeinu davke. We don't have the shalva serin. Kolem b'zman hagolos acher achul. The Rebbe asked 12 questions. Well, what's the Pirush HaMilas b'chol? First of all, Alter Rebbe is not busy explaining Memorah Chazal. He's trying to explain Tanya how to do tshuva. So all of a sudden, now all of a sudden he wants to give you a little shalosh tudas Torah. Pshat and Pirkei Yovis. What's the geshem now? Slides. If I care, not only he's not explaining, it goes against what he's saying. The Barat Tanura says, what does it mean? Ein b'yadeinu loy mishalvas rishayin. He says two pshatim. One is ein b'yadeinu means, like the Gemara, there's an expression in Gemara, loy hava b'yodei. He didn't understand it. Loy hava b'yodei. means we don't understand why the Shaim are successful. So you can't say that that's the pshat according to the Alter Rebbe in the Mishnah, because the Alter Rebbe says we do understand. We do understand. And the other pshat that the Bartanura says, the other thing the Bartanura says is that in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, if a person was a big Rosha, so the pasuk says, "Mishalom l'soinav al panav la'avidah," that the Eibishter gave him a lot of wealth and good health, and when he died, he was no schusim left for him. And when he went to heaven, his bank account had 0,000. There was nothing left for him. He did a couple of good things. Yeah, but he ate up all his chusim by Lamaza. So there was nothing left in his account. 0 left in his account. Here. There's 0 left in his guy's account. There's nothing left in his account. There's nothing left. There's nothing there. So both these pshatim, well, how does that go into Tanya? What is it? What is the connection to what the Alter Rebbe is saying? There's 0 connection to what the Alter Rebbe is saying. Number one, the Alter Rebbe says that if you're going to say that the pshat is we don't understand how come the Shaima are successful, well, it's not true. The Tanya does explain why the Shaima is successful. And if you're going to say that Bisman Hazeh is not like the time of the Beis Hamikdash, but the Alter Rebbe is talking about Bisman Hazeh, that the Rishonim are successful. So what's going on over here, Bachlal? It doesn't make sense. So
what does it mean that the Rishonim are successful?
If
you have a fancy car that's called successful, what does it mean?
Well, Dennis is asking a good shayla. And the Alter Rebbe here really wanted to answer shayla. How come the Torah says that a Rosh dies at the age of 50, and the other Chodesh, he died at the age of 60, and we know a lot of people that did Avedis, that are Chayav Chodesh, and they lived to 70, 80, 90, 100. What's going on?
Meaning, how many?
Like you said, Jimmy Carter is still alive.
Jimmy Carter's still alive.
Yeah, in Alta Terach, he's over 100.
But
What is it? 98?
So he's there from.
He's a Rosh Hashanah.
Getting it all now.
He's a Rosh Hashanah.
Wipe him out.
So how could it be? The Alter Rebbe explains. Because Azman Beis Hamikdash, a person can only get vitality from Kedusha.
So one second. So now, if someone, your grandfather, stayed on the 102, so you're gonna say if somebody dies early, it's more.
You know what? There's a silver lining. Rebbe Tzak always says there's a silver lining, that even though a person, the Alter Rebbe explains that in the days of Beis Hamikdash, you can only live from Kedusha. So if he cut off, 50, 60 is going to die. Now, a person can drag down the hay of Yudke Vavke to Klippa, and the Klippa is so happy. Wow! They're going to give you a kickback. You gave them $1 trillion, they'll give you $1 billion. They're very happy. You drag down. Tshuva is Toshuv hay. You got to bring back the hay. So the Rebbe says that what the Alter Rebbe is saying is like this. A person is going to ask, I sinned all the juicy sins I did already. And I don't see the $1 billion in the account. What's going on over here? I did every sin in the book, and I did it twice. And the Vaila, where's the $1 billion in my bank account? This is Itzner. What's going on over there? It's the Alter Rebbe just explained that after the Churban, and that the double ocean, Bisman Agolos Acha Churban, because there was also before the Churban there was a Golos, Seres Hashvotim, warring Golos. But still, there was a certain kedusha in the world before the Churban. So the Alter Rebbe emphasizes that Bisman Agolos Achar Churban, you could drag the hay of Yudke Vavke into Klippa, and they get so much energy, and they're going to kick back to the Jew, an unbelievable energy, and that's why it could be a Rosh. Jimmy Carter is 98 and he's still alive, and he's still around. So Fretzach the Shaila. So how come these same Rishoyim are not wealthy? How come where's the $1 billion? The Rosh says, I learned this Pedic in Tanya. I did every sin twice, and I don't see the $1 billion. What's going on over here?
You're expecting double.
And they're right. So the Alter Rebbe answers, that's the pshat. Ein biyodenu mishalvas that he's showing him. This is exactly the pshat. The Eibishter did an unbelievable favor for the Rishoyim after the Churban. Why? Because in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, a person, the Rebbe tells a story that there was a person that came to Friedrich Rebbe and said, before we have a discussion, I want you to know something. I'm an apikoides. So the Friedrich Rebbe said, what do you think? if you klap semechkas, you're eating sunflower seeds, you become an apikoidus. You ain't no apikoidus. You're besapagroisa am oritz. You're not an apikoidus. So in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, there was an apikoidus. They saw the Eibishter in the Beis Hamikdash, and they went against it.
And even though they saw it,
Even though they saw it, they went against it.
this is what they say.
So
that
therefore, they
everybody-
got paid. The Eibishter said, "You know what? Let me give you wealth, and when the person is going to die, you'll have zero schusim left." The Eibishter did a favor to the Jewish people in the time of Golus, because the truth is we don't have such bad Rishonim today. They're just amadatzim. They don't know better. They don't know. They're not chas v'shalom Rishonim. They don't know better. But if you teach them, they would know. They don't know. So therefore, the Eibishter did us a favor. Ein biyodeinu mishal v'sarishonim. Really, every Rosh today should be a billionaire. What's going on? The Eibishter did a favor. Taka, even though he's supposed to die at age 50 or 60, but this, the Eibishter is happy. He should live till 100. Why? Maybe he'll do tshuva. But if the guy is also going to be wealthy, what's going to be? When he's going to die, if he doesn't do tshuva, he gets up to heaven, and he's going to want to swipe his credit card to get into the Gan Eden lounge. He wants to get into the millionaire's Gan Eden lounge. He's going to swipe his card and say, "You have zero credit. There's nothing left in your account."
And he's going to give
What
an
could you do?
excuse. He's going to give an excuse because he had money, but he didn't have the ability, the time to.
It's an epis dav zayin in the account. So the Eibishter does him a favor. And therefore, that's a pshat. Ein biyodenu. That's what the Alter Rebbe says in the Tanya. V'zeu shomer chazal. Ein biyodenu mishal v'sarishayim. It's like a pella. If that bisman golus, the Eibishter made a thing that even though really it makes sense that every Rosh today should have $1 million in the account, but the Eibishter took it away from the Rosh because it's good for the Rosh. Because if the Rosh will live to be like an alta terach, like Jimmy Carter, and it'll be wealthy and healthy. So then, if he doesn't do tshuva and he dies, what's left? Zero in his credit card. Zero credit. He's going to come to heaven and have nothing. So the Eibishter did him a favor, Taka, to live past 50, 60, the Eibishter lets. Because that's the nature of the beast. That's Golus. Golus means, the days the Beis Hamikdash, a Jew's vitality is from Kedusha. If he cuts the rope, he's a cliffhanger, he's hanging. He cuts the rope, he goes flying. So he'll live for another 10, 15 minutes. But once he hits an impact, he's going to die. So he's going to die at the age of 50, 60. Bisman, after the Churban in the time of Golus, so a person could get chayas to his body, not through Kedusha, but through Klippa. He'll bring the hay of Yutke Vavke to Klippa, and they love him now. And they want to give him a kickback. But Eibishter takes away, the $1 billion Eibishter takes away. And that's the pshat. That's the pshat. V'zeu shamrazal ein b'deinu loy mishal v'serisem b'deinu dafke b'zman agol tzachar churban. The Eibishter did a favor for the Rishoyim because they're not so bad. Because the Rishoyim today, they're not such real apikursim. They're just amaratzim. So the Eibishter wants to do them a favor.
Yeah, like Tinoch Shinishba.
Yeah, they're like So that's l'chaim. And the Rebbe, as I said, an unbelievable thing in the Geras HaTshuva. And over the years, the Rebbe said, whenever chas v'shalom, a person is in a difficult spot in life, a person should learn to Geras HaTshuva. Even if a person is not sitting down to say, "Oh, now I'm doing tshuva," but just the fact that we sit down with the Tanya and we learn to Geras HaTshuva, that has an unbelievable thing. L'alta l'tshuva, l'alta l'gyula. Today there's 300,000 Yidden. It's unbelievably excited us. A lot of them put on film. My wife showed me a video this morning of the Yidden davening shachris in front of the White House. Yonim, very well. And at the end of the davening, so the Taka did a beautiful hallow with beautiful nigunim Taka. And at the end of davening, with the mic in his hand, he starts saying, "I did it, and you hear the oilam singing. It's beautiful." And my wife says to me, like that says that the Mos said, "Ruba bein b'ni lebein chomit." That the Mos said, "Look at the difference of our children and the Esav's children, Yishmael's children. Look when the Esav's children and Yishmael's children may come together, 300,000 people for a protest. How many people are injured and how many hazekas there is, and look when Yidden get together." That there's such a friendship, even though they're so different. I mean, you had an oilam that's from the right to the left. You have that people are saying Tehillim and Medaven and Zink Nagunim. It's all mamish miklam Israel. Putting on film. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim. Should be l'alta l'tshuva, l'alta l'geula. The Eibusher should not only give the geula out of Gaza. Huh? What'd you say?
Biden came out of the White House.
Yeah, they made it. They made him the Shabbos guy. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
I still firing on me that ever had a different method to different situation.
It's
The
unbelievable.
Russian situation need to be silent, and the
Israeli?
American-Israeli situation need to be allowed on the streets.
It's unbelievable.
I was shocked when I saw the statement from Crown Heights Rabbanah to go out to the rally. It was to me, it was like from the Rebbe back in the
The
days.
truth is hard to know. Who knows what the Rebbe would have said today?
And
You
you
know
see what
what-
happened.
But for sure, the Rebbe would say, if you learn it now, you get us a tshuva.
It's gonna be a good. It's good. It's the Sefer Hasidim, the Sipurim that the guys that went out of Russia, they went to Germany. They had like tzrifim, the
Right,
houses. So
right.
there's a whole book about it, what happened there. So one of the stories there is that the Satmar Hasidim took the Lubavitchers and protest Erev Shabbos not to have the Kolnoa open on Shabbos. And that was like the Lubavitch didn't do anything, just standing there, like you said, and with the sign, and not doing anything. The Satmar is like, it's like fighting. And they went to jail, sort of a jail. But the Erev Shabbos, the guy, it was a biryonim, the Lubavitchers were not like skinny, they were like big people. He broke off the whole thing and he went to the Chuneran and all. With the whole story. But the point is, the Satmar were protesting. Chabad was just,
Very
standing.
hard to know.
But the Rebbe said,
But for sure, the Rebbe would say, you get us a tshuva. Chaim l'chaim.
Chaim.
Chaim.
I did it, I did it, that the Kinos Ashluchim was unbelievable. I think the high point of the program was the Shluchim in Sderot. The kid. You saw? I saw.
Shderot or Sderot?
Sderot.
Sderot. I don't know. I remember.
Shnei Romet Sderot.
Sderot. I don't know if it's Sderot. Sderot. מה זה Sderot? Section. Right? מה זה Sderot? Exactly. As I was just making sure that I made it. Yeah, I'm just the translation made it very.
He spoke like
But
You saw it? You saw the
Yeah,
So my daughter showed me the
Unbelievable.
it was incredible.
nine so.
Amazing.
Too good.
It's someone was at the table was commenting that.
By the way, I saw you.
Oh, you saw
I
me?
saw you and Bensi and the Russian guy sitting in the back.
Oh
You were
yeah.
there too.
You didn't see Shnei? You didn't see anyone else?
No. I want it. What?
So someone said, the grandfather. It's unbelievable. The grandfather seemed the child was fiery, and the father, kid, you could see
So much.
this.
Right.
Yeah, you see the stress, the trauma. Unbelievable.
That's
I mean,
trauma.
listen, he He just saw the death. It's like he saved his kids. He saved his family by running out from his house to another apartment. It's like
But he got a rocket in his living room, and
Oh.
the picture was big one with glass. The only thing didn't break.
the kid is a kid. Kid doesn't have trauma, and the grandfather's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw
You can saw the
You
sadness.
see the sadness. You see the trauma in him. It's unbelievable. It's like there's another shliach in Sderot that posted
They're
that.
not here. They went on the show, right?
Yeah.
No, they were here.
They were here. They were like,
They were here till Tuesday, till today one day.
Yeah. In the Kfar Chabad, they had one of the shluchim in Sderot who was there for students, said that he brought a group of 30 students to Kfar Chabad for Simchas Torah. He says he lives right across the street from the police station in Sderot.
He took
There's
over there.
no question. He says no question in his mind if he was.
He saved whole story.
Yeah, he saved his own life and all 30 students. Could you imagine? He lived across the street from the police
So
station.
many Nisim were there. It's unbelievable. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. L'chaim. But yeah, it's fine.
In the summer, this couple pull over in the side of the road. Everybody passed by, nobody stopped them. I got from neighbor, stop. Say, how can I help you? Say, first of all, thank you for stopping. You don't know if you're stopping. And we got stuck with no gas. So no worry, 1 minute away from his gas. I'll drive, I'll go get you gas, come back. So when he bought this
Gallon.
gallon fuel, and that's it. They said, open his wallet, how much I can pay you. I said, no, the mitzvah, I'm not going to sell the mitzvah. So what do you mean? What do you mean mitzvah? I'm from the kibbutz. There's no.
They don't know what mitzvah.
There's no mitzvah. What's mitzvah? Explain to them what the mitzvah is. No, I have to pay you. You say, no, I'm not selling the mitzvah. It's my mitzvah. I did it. Finish. Okay. Have a good day. What's my telephone number? What's my telephone number? People extend the telephone number. Finish. Shabbos. So I'll call him and I told him, how are you? You remember me with the kid? Yeah. Can I tell you a story about Shabbos? I don't keep Shabbos. You want to tell me a story about Shabbos? 2 minute story, that's it. A week after it, another story. A week after it, another story. Oh, Shabbos, he told him a story 1 minute. And the 4th week, he told him, tell me, how do you live in Shabbos? So boring. No television, no internet, no radio, nothing. How do you live Shabbos? He said, how do you live Shabbos? Come to me, I'll show you how Shabbos by us is nice. He said, fine, I'll come, I wanted to see. I always see in the kibbutz, I never saw what he said, okay, let's make a Shabbos. He go to his rabbi and told him, I told the guy to come Shabbos. It's Rosh Hashanah coming. Okay, forget it. Yom Kippur, no, it's too long. Sukkot. So I live in the 2th floor, come down three floors to do it by the Sukkot. Too much. Simchas Torah, come to me. Then I realized, no, I can't invite him to Simchas Torah. Why? Because his father is an old man, live in Sderot. And his turn to go every Shabbos, other kid go. That Shabbos, his turn to go to his father to be with him. So, no, I can't. So his father told him, no, invite your father to the house. Your father gonna see, the person gonna see that you do kibbutz avayim. Of course, it's gonna be more simple. So fine. So he invite his father to come to his house, and he invite this couple to come to the house for Simchas Torah. His father leave the first building right next to the police and the store. If it would be there, we finished. That couple, the house is finished. The Hamas burned the house.
Wow.
All because what? The guy stuck for
or gas.
Where did this guy live?
Never. In the kibbutz.
No, where's the guy who story?
Never.
So many stories.
L'chaim.
It's crazy stories. Crazy stories.
Maybe shall help from all those Yidden that came today. Every one of them should be deserve to see back. Huh?
All of them came to do it.
They all came to the oil, right?
250 people came to do it.
Right. It's unbelievable. They chartered a plane. Ravarono. Tzach. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
There's no shilas. These tefillas are Me'ila L'mayla.
I was, my mind outside it. I come out from the oil, I'm gonna hear the sound of fire.
It's exactly the same thing.
It's like, like everybody gonna say, wow, wow.
By the way, Rabbi, I actually have a friend who lives in Israel. He flew over from Israel. He went to the and then he went to Washington, D.C. to the march.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Let's help. Let's help Mitzvah Shem. Chaim l'chaim
Chaim l'chaim.
Eitz v'suv Ein abru davar v'lo Yaakov Otso eitz v'suv abru davar v'lo Yaakov Otso eitz v'suv Hey, Otso eitz v'suv Last week there was a Yid posted something in the Beis Mashiach magazine. Really unbelievable story. So he went to see old people, towns in the north of Eretz Yisrael. And a nursing home, he went to put on film with Yidalat. So one man says that I already put on film. My name is Shlomo Rappaport, and I'm a Lubavitcher. He didn't look like a Lubavitcher. He said I learned Temchat from Lubavitcher from 1930 till 1934 in Natvotsk. Yeah. He says, were you at Lubavitcher Rebbe's wedding? I said, sure, I was at the Lubavitcher's at Rebbe's wedding. So like, you tell me something.
No, that's where you get it information.
So he said, Benche, there was a town, the Lubavitcher town, There was a town with Lubavitcher Chassidim near Vilna. The name of the town was Gluboke. This is what this guy is telling a story. It's about Gluboke. And there was a lot of Lubavitcher Chassidim, and they decided they want to make their own shul. They built their own shul. They brought their own Rav, Harav Kupershtor. Now, the Frierdiker Rebbe decided that Shabbos that he's going to be he's going to be installed as the rabbi is for Shabbos that the Frierdiker Rebbe wanted to come with his son-in-law with the Rebbe. They were there. There's the book Bikur Luboke. There's a famous picture, right? The Frierdiker Rebbe came there on a Friday and it was snowy, and Kupperstoch and all the Lubavitcher Chassidim came to the train station. And they took the Frierdiker Rebbe, and Rav Kupperstock was sitting right next to the Frierdiker Rebbe like this on a sled. You know that picture?
Oh, that's a famous picture.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. The Frierdiker Rebbe and Rav Kupperstock, and they're sitting on a sled. So he said, okay, right. They're beautiful Shabbos. It's the Frierdiker Rebbe told a few Maimonim and Sichos Motzei Shabbos. Frierdiker Rebbe came to Mlava Malka with his big Shabbos and the Streimel, and he asked if the Olam wants to hear a story. Frierdiker Rebbe told a story. It was like there was never, a storyteller like the Frierdiker Rebbe. The Olam said, "Yeah, they want to hear a story." He said that a story about Gluboke. The Frierdiker Rebbe writes a story. You feel like you're going you get sucked into the story.
And he tells the story about his daughter.
Right, exactly. It's unbelievable. So he said the Geven Arov in Gluboke many years ago, and the town was a poor town. They couldn't afford to take care of the Rov. So his wife, to supplement the income, she opened up a store. Not to come for the store. So her husband once a year would go to the Groise Yerid, go to Leipzig, and he would buy. She would give him a list of stuff to buy. Needle, threads, matches, who knows, whatever. And he'd come back with all the schayra. She would sell it over the year, and then oitcha next year. When he would travel, he used to go different places. One of the places would stop in Mezrich. He got to know that the Magid Mezrich was awesome, like unbelievable. There was Korozla, honestly, there was no anything you asked the Magid that not Magid knew. So he used to go ask his questions and learning to the Maggid. One of the times he came to Mezrich and the Shamer says, where you going? Hold your horses. Where you going? So I want to see my Rebbe. I want to see them. He says, the Maggid is in the middle of davening. Okay. So he sits down and he's learning some Chumash, whatever. An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours.
Wow.
The Maggid davened for 5 hours, Shachris. So
Well,
after the Maggid finished davening, the Mishamish called him in and he asked the Maggid, he said, I learned the Kislev and I know the Kavonas and davening. And I could do all the Kavonas and davening, and I could do the davening in an hour and a half. And I'm sure the Rebbe could do the same thing. So how come the davening takes him 5 hours? So the Maggid said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, as you know, I go for my wife every year. We spend 6 weeks. I go to this year, that year. I go to the fair. I buy her all the schoda she needs to sell for a year." So the Maggid says, what kind of foolish thing? 6 weeks, you go and you travel? No, what should I do? He said, close your eyes, visualize that you got on the wagon, that you went to the fair, you bought everything, you came home. You can do it quickly. So the guy says, come on. He laughs. He thinks I'm joking. He says, my wife needs the schoida. It's not enough that I go into La La Land. I need to produce. I need to bring her the stuff. So the Maggid said, yeah, you're right. I also need the schoida. He said, in other words, he said, just like you, when you need to bring back the schoida for your wife, you can't just go in La La Land. You actually have to travel. So my mami, the davening is not just la 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 la. Thought of a few things, like we're learning in Tanya now about Torah Lishma, different levels in Lishma, Tefillah Lishma, different levels in Lishma. Soul Kibbutz go to Kia, it travels up, it goes to Atzilus, to Bria, it goes to Efolis, it goes here, goes there. So a Tefillah Psula with that doesn't go up a klal, it stays flat. And then there's a Tefillah that a Yid does Matakin an old Tefillah because he davened today Bekavona, he picks up yesterday's. Well, it's dynamic, it's not just. And then if you go up, you get the godly light and you bring it down. So it's not just La La Land, Medav bringing the schoida. So if you just La La Land, you're saying a few words and you're thinking Kavona Sadizal, you knock it off in an hour and a half. But if you got to go there and get the merchandise and come back, it could take 5 hours. And this was the story. He says the Rebbe was sitting right next to the Frierdiker Rebbe, and a Kuppelstich was sitting on the other side, and there was like 70 Chabad families. They were all sitting there. He said it was like you hear a pin drop. It was like electricity was in the air as the Frierdiker Rebbe was telling the story. So we need the schoida. The truth is, it's not only an exercise. We need the schoida. This month, Kislev is Sidis brings from the Kislev Arizal, but there's Chodesh Ashlishi in the summer, there's Chodesh Ashlishi in the winter. Just like in the summer, there's Chodesh Ashlishi, and we got the Torah, the nigla of the Torah. In the winter, the third month, which is Tishrei, Cheshvan, Kislev, we get the keys, the Pnimius of Torah, to Sisrei Torah, to the hidden part of Torah. That's why they're both the third month, but it's very different. In the summer, it's Chodesh Aviv. The Rebbe's father says Aviv is Aleph Beis Yud, which is the regular Seder of the Aleph Beis. Tishrei is the opposite. Tov, Shin, Reish, then Yud. Because the Tzaddik goes the normal way. Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Tov Yud. Balshuva is Or Chodesh, bounces back. Tov, Shin, Reish, Yud, Aleph. So in order to do the regular Avodas Hashem, when it's in the summer, it's nice and warm, you could do it just with the keys of Nigla the Torah. It's good enough. But when it gets a little tough and it's in the winter, the Nigla the Torah is not enough. I need the koyach of Pnimius Torah in order to be able to do tshuva, to be able to go back from the Tav to the Shin, to the Reish, to the Yud, to the Aleph. So that's why B'Chodesh HaShlishi in the summer there's Nigla the Torah. Chodesh HaShlishi in the winter is Pnimius Torah. Bottom line is we got it. That's the keys. The keys are given to us. The Chodesh HaShlishi starts on today, which is Chodesh Kislev and intensifies as we get to test Yud Kislev, Yutas Kislev, Chav Kislev, Mitzvah Shem this year. Every year we're going to have a big Fabrengen Chav Yutas Kislev. If you didn't finish your Masechta, please finish off your Masechta. Think about the Masechta you want to take for next year. And the Mitzvah Shem.
When are you opening it up now? People want to catch on.
Someday. And the Mitzvah Shem, Hanukkah, the Eivish shall helfen. By the time we get to Hanukkah, yeah, you can pre-order. You can pre-order.
We can do it twice. We can do wherever it is. We can do it twice.
Pre-order. So yes.
You can have the Sima Shas twice. No, it doesn't have to be one.
I do one.
הלוואי ושתדעו.
L'chaim. By the time we get to Hanukkah, which should be so lahoidus lahalo l'shimcha gadol, that every Yid will be back home already. Yes, we shouldn't know of any tzar and Yisurim. Every Yid should be with their family and taka in the menorah in the base of Mikdash. L'chaim. B'chokar and Eid Shoyin Agat Yad Ramno Gar Tzadik B'chokar and Eid Shoyin Agat Yad Ramno Yeah, this I got it. I'm not honest. Yeah, I got it. To show you, I got it. Side, side. But I'll be rushed with the house. What's it is, Balvin Rosh and the half of yards and nothing was if was I. He has Amrullah, he has Amrullah. There go this song. He has Amrullah, he has Amrullah. This not she has yet what this go. Hey, I didn't like L'chaim. Get על המק here. Yeah, baruch atah Allah. Michal, כל דבר. Let's come there. Much better. Michal, baruch atah Allah. Michal, baruch atah Allah. Okay.
There's 6 people did not marry?
Yes. Me?
Okay, 10 people. Shimmy, you want to be a husband? No? One year.